Thursday, April 15. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Carol Francis. Jamaica is slated to receive 55,000 doses of vaccine under the COVID-19 Vaccine Global Access or COVAX facility. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the announcement at Wednesday's COVID Conversation virtual press conference. Marlon Samuels reports.
The arrival of the shipment will enable the continuation of the island-wide vaccine blitz. According to Dr. Tufton, there will be no blitz this weekend due to low vaccine stocks.
We also have to allow the process of securing vaccines to be available, or more vaccines to be available. We do have some limited stocks now, and so come Monday, we will begin the process of to inoculate others, but it will be the regular routine phase 1, phase 2 process with the blitz to come later on. And the next blitz would have to be influenced by another shipment, which we anticipate we will get in a week under the COVAX program, which we had earlier announced, some 55,000 to come in. So for those reasons, but I would say the real tribute to the healthcare workers, I think they deserve a few days to relax and to reflect. We will not have a blitz this weekend.
The blitz events are designed to inoculate as many Jamaicans as possible with the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. At least 7 countries, including Jamaica, are slated to receive approximately 2.3 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines through COVAX. On March 15, Jamaica received 14,000 doses of vaccines. The island was the first in the region to receive COVID-19 vaccines through the COVAX facility. For the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
The Health and Wellness Ministry's target of 75,000 vaccinations over a 5-day period has been exceeded by 12%. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave an update on Wednesday.
For the blitz, we set ourselves a target of 75,000, but through the hard work of the team and those on the ground and those who took up the offer and came out and participated, we exceeded that target by some 12%. So over the 5-day period, instead of the 75,000 ambitious target we set for ourselves, we actually inoculated some 83,828 Jamaicans. And that deserves an applause.
Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Carissa Etienne, says COVID-19 vaccine deliveries to the Americas have slowed. Dr. Etienne is urging countries to employ a comprehensive strategy of immunization woven with public health measures to curb the surging pandemic.
According to PAHO's director, Dr. Carissa Etienne, PAHO's revolving fund has helped deliver more than 3 million doses of COVAX procured vaccines to 28 countries since March this year. However, Dr. Etienne says constraints on producers of COVAX vaccines have slowed deliveries. She is urging countries to increase safety measures since not enough vaccines are available.
I cannot stress this enough. For most countries, vaccines are not going to stop this wave of the pandemic. There are simply not enough vaccines available to protect everyone in the countries that are at greatest risk. Therefore, we need to stop transmission by any means possible with the tools that we have at hand. This will require comprehensive strategies to both accelerate the rollout of vaccines and control the virus using proven public health measures.
Despite the setback, Dr. Etienne says PAHO stands ready to provide technical assistance as regional authorities continue to work at stemming the spread and effects of the COVID-19 virus.
PAHO is actively working to support countries to make the most of limited doses by considering their limited shelf life and the vulnerable populations that should be protected first. At least 10 different COVID vaccines are in use across our region. The 4 vaccines authorized by WHO, the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, 2 versions of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, SK Bio and the Serum Institute of India, and the Janssen vaccine are already helping to prevent severe disease and deaths in places where they are in use.
For the news on PBCJ, I'm Simone Absalom Gale.
The biological diversity and ecosystem of St. Elizabeth are now protected areas. A protected landscape and/or seascape is a type of protected area which aims to conserve not only the biological diversity and ecosystem of the area, but also the traditional uses of natural areas dependent on the health of ecosystems for their survival. Information Minister Favour Williams says Cabinet gave approval for the designation under the Natural Resources Conservation Authority Act.
The designation of the proposed Black River Protected Area is intended to preserve the natural and cultural heritage of the area, including the swamp forest, mangroves, beaches, seagrass beds, and coral reefs, which provide habitat for wildlife and support sustainable livelihoods. By designating the Black River Protected Area, Jamaica would meet some of its national and international commitments with respect to the protection of inland water, marine, and terrestrial ecosystems and heritage sites.
15% of marine and 18% of terrestrial ecosystems in Jamaica are protected under the law. The Zones of Special Operations, ZOZOs, in Denham Town, West Kingston, Mount Salem in St. James, Greenwich Town and August Town in St. Andrew have been extended for a further 60 days. The House of Representatives approved 4 resolutions for the extensions, which were moved by Deputy Prime Minister, National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang.
There was some marginal increase in shooting, but a significant decline in all other serious crime. Rape is down by 47.5%, break-ins are down, and of course robbery are down. Within the Zozo community, there have been significant reduction in all incidents. In fact, I have the statistics over during the course of this month. In fact, there was 0 criminal activity of major criminal activity, other things, in all 4 zones of special operations. And if we look at from the inception, there was a total of some 40 homicides, of which 36 took place in a single zone of special operation, which we are now looking at reviewing our strategy, both in terms of the social investment and how we operate in the security zone. And we expect we can take that community to the same level as we have in the other communities.
Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Favour Williams, has announced that her ministry is terminating its relationship with charity organization Embracing Orphans with immediate effect. The announcement follows reports that the organization's founder's education certificate was suspended in the United States for professional misconduct. Jamaica's Child Protection and Family Services Agency has been leasing property from the organization.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has written to Embracing Orphans to inform them that the ministry has terminated the relationship immediately and would vacate the premises within 90 days as per the lease agreement. Additionally, we have asked OCA, Office of the Children's Advocate, to include in their investigation the extent of the interaction of Mr. Robansky with the children, and if any interaction was of the kind for which Mr. Robansky was suspended.
Minister Williams was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet media briefing. Motorists will get an ease at the pumps this week with an announced decrease in gas prices. For this and other stories, we join Gabriel Thompson for the Business Report.
According to the latest ex-refinery costs from state-owned oil refinery Petrojam, motorists should see a decrease at the pumps in the prices of gasoline and an increase in the price of diesel effective Thursday, April 15. Following a decrease of 58 cents each, 87 and 90 octane gasoline will be sold for $137.31 and $140.14 per liter respectively. Automotive diesel fuel will be sold for $127.14 per liter, following an increase of $1.26, while ultra-low sulfur diesel is up by $2.14 and will be sold for $133.24 per liter. Meanwhile, kerosene saw a price increase of $2.54 and will be sold for $104.64 per liter. Following a decrease of $3.06, propane liquid petroleum will be sold for $53.74 per liter, and butane liquid petroleum will be sold for $53.58 per liter after a decrease of $2.69. Expect price changes as marketing companies and retailers will add their respective markup to these prices. In Wednesday's trading session, the JSE Combined Index advanced by 2,716 points to close at under 400,000 units. Overall, market activity resulted from trading in 87 stocks, of which 35 advanced, 34 declined, and 18 traded firm. The Junior Market Index declined by 30 points to close at just over 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for Berger Paints Jamaica Limited, Carreras Limited, and Sebony Group Limited. Stocks declined for Barita Investments Limited, Blue Power Group Limited, and CAC 2000 9.5% preference shares. Trading firm were 1834 Investments Limited, Caribbean Cream Limited, and Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited. Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares was the volume leader with 5.1 million units, followed by Mailpack Group Limited with 1.8 million units and Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 1.8 million units. In foreign exchange trading for Wednesday, April 14, the US dollar ended trading at $151.48. The Canadian dollar sold for an average $124.37. The pound sterling traded for $209.20, and the euro ended trading at $182.26. Oil prices eased on Thursday but remained close to a one-month high that was driven by more positive demand forecasts from the International Energy Agency and OPEC as economies recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. Brent crude futures fell 24 cents to $66.34 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude futures dropped 36 cents to $62.79 a barrel. Both contracts rose by about 5% on Wednesday. And that does it for the Thursday edition of the Business Report Inside the News on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson. Pleasant viewing.
This week on Culinary Trails, we made our way to the Footprint Cafe in Kingston for culinary masterpieces in a great atmosphere.
Hi guys, so today we're visiting this gem of a location in New Kingston. It's on 5 Belmont Road. It's the best place to have lunch with your friends, have a lunch meeting, have your wedding reception or any other event. Welcome to Footprint Cafe.
Offer catering services. Of course, we offer breakfast, lunch and dinner. We also host events, so if you have weddings, birthday, anniversary dinner, anything you can think of, we have the space, we will provide that for you. We also have a private meeting room, so of course if you have a group of say about 45 or less, you can rent our meeting room so that you can have a space for you and your colleagues to dine and get things done while having some of our delicious food. around. So first and foremost, persons have to sanitize and they have to wear their mask when they come in. Of course, you cannot eat with the mask on, but we just want to ensure that you're protected during the interaction with us and the waitresses. So if you want to contact our courier, it's 908-0041. We also have, of course, the reservations office if you're interested in catering. That's 668-6910. Of course, you have to put 876 before that. For staff, we do have a pretty large, well, I won't say large, we have an average staff complement. So what we do have them on a shift system in order to keep the numbers small. So at any given time, you'll have 2 persons working in the drinks area. We'll also have at least 2 persons working as waitresses or waiters, and we'll have about 2 persons working in the kitchen. So we try to keep it a minimum of 10 persons working at any given time just to ensure that we observe the social distancing. Jamaican cuisine with a twist. So we do offer your usuals. We have our curried goat, we do the oxtail, but of course, you know, we spice it up with a little beer. We do the fish, we do seafood. So on days you'll have shrimp, you'll have lobster. Fish is an everyday thing. So if any day you're feeling for fish, you can come by and grab some fish. And of course, the usual chicken dishes. So we just try to keep it very local, but we do add our own personal spice to it.
Hi, I'm Asana. Today I'm going to make a blended fruit punch.
For about 2 months due to COVID-19, so we did have some things in place, but of course in the revamp we do brunch on a Sunday, so you can look out on our social media page for when the brunch is reopened. We do brunch on, well, every Sunday for the month, and of course we do have some theme nights coming, so just look out for what Footprints has to offer.
In regional news, the Soufriere volcano continues to erupt 6 days after the first blast on April 8th in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sunil Lalo, who is in St. Vincent, tells us of the planned reparation exercise for Trinidad and Tobago nationals in that country.
No confirmation yet on the number of nationals being repatriated from St. Vincent to Trinidad. The galleon's passage, though, will leave the island tonight, Wednesday, with less weight than when it arrived on Tuesday evening. Up to when TTT News visited where the galleon's passage is docked in the capital, Kingstown, around 3 p.m., supplies brought for aid to St. Vincent was still being offloaded. But officials have confirmed that the vessel will leave between 8 p.m. and midnight with repatriated nationals on board. The registration and check-in of those nationals started this afternoon and was moving apace with TNT immigration officials managing that process. After the ship docks in Trinidad, all persons are expected to be quarantined as per national protocol. St. Vincent, meanwhile, recorded another explosive eruption on Wednesday morning around 11:20 a.m. People in St. Vincent have been seen lining up with their buckets to get water from the Central Water and Sewerage Authority, known as CWSA, which has water trucks moving throughout the island. It comes after ashfall affected the major water supply. Sonalala, TTT News, reporting from Kingstown in St. Vincent.
Volcanic ash emanating from the Soufriere Hills volcano has found its way to St. Lucia. Public health officials are gearing up to care for persons who may be impacted by the ill effects of the volcanic ash. We have more in this report.
To some, it may look like snow in the tropical Caribbean region, but this is no winter wonderland, as volcanic ash is not water vapor ice crystals and can pose a serious health hazard. The negative effects of volcanic ash on the human body are cause for concern, topping the agenda of a media conference hosted by public health officials on Wednesday, March 14th.
The very small particles of this volcanic ash can get into the bloodstream and affect many organs in the body. It is important for persons with chronic illnesses to ensure they always have adequate supply of their medication.
Medical Officer of Health Dr. Glensford Joseph emphasizes the importance of taking precautions to avoid overexposure to ash fall.
Some persons may have a foreign body sensation to the eyes, which may become itchy and painful. Some may have teary eyes or a sticky discharge from the eyes. The particles from the ash can cause scratching and scarring of the eyes, and this is important to note.
News Force did receive reports from residents in the south of the island of a tingling sensation on their skins after interaction with the ash. Dr. Joseph says that while skin irritation is uncommon, some persons can be affected and may also experience redness and discomfort.
This may be associated with secondary infection as a result of scratching to the skin. If you're experiencing skin or eye irritation, it is important to wash the eyes and the skin with clean water. If symptoms persist or worsen, visit your nearest healthcare provider.
The medical officer notes that the other effects of volcanic ash include poor visibility, which could increase the odds of vehicular crashes. The Ministry of Health has reportedly enhanced its surveillance systems to detect and manage persons with symptoms associated with volcanic ash. As of Wednesday morning, there were no reports of persons visiting healthcare facilities complaining of ailments believed to be linked to the volcanic ash. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
And we go to sports. Former Test captain Jason Holder has been named one of Wisden's 5 cricketers of the year. The 29-year-old joins Englishmen Don Sibley, Zach Crawley and Darren Stevens, along with Pakistan's Mohammad Rizwan, as the 5 most influential players identified by cricket's most respected and authoritative voice. Wisden says Holder was, quote, at the helm when West Indies toured England and played a central role in his side's only win over England, end quote, during last year's historic 3-test tour at the height of the global COVID-19 pandemic. While his returns from 5 tests last year were modest, Holder was rewarded for his leadership role in the groundbreaking first ever biosecure test series against England. It signaled the resumption of international cricket following a lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He snatched 6 for 42 in the first innings of the opening test at the Rose Bowl in Southampton to bundle the hosts out for a paltry 204. This laid the foundation for the visitors' 4-wicket victory. Holder, currently campaigning in the Indian Premier League for Sunrisers Hyderabad, says he is delighted with the honor. And that's our package. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more news and sports right here on PBCJ, the People's Station.